session. If anybody have any issue with the recording, please let us know. Mr. Ishtiaq Khurshid is a senior project manager and PMO head at Tech Access Pakistan. He possesses vast professional experience in the project management and digital transformation with proficiency in cross-functional supervision and team building. He worked at different senior positions with various big companies such as Telenor, TCS, and Huawei, just to name a few. Further, I'm going to hand over to Mr. Ishtiaq, and he will tell us something more about his accomplishment. So, Mr. Ishtiaq Khurshid, please.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Thank you very much, Ahsan, for such a good introduction. So my name is Ishtiaq Khurshid, and today I'll be hosting this webinar for you guys that is basically on data analytics. And as Ahsan explained, I'm currently working as the head of PMO at Tech Access Private Limited. And I started my career back in 2003, and the career was working with the data as well, the data processing officer. So let's not get into the details. What I have been doing, it's been more than 20 years in the industry there. So let's hear it during the presentation and the things on there. So I'm sharing my screen on here. When you can see my screen, please let me know that. So Ahsan, I hope we can see my screen on there.
No, not yet, Ishtiaq, sorry.
I shared it on there.
If you stop share and share it again, maybe.
Okay. Can you see it now?
Yes, I can.
Okay. Great. So, ladies and gentlemen, today's we have a brief webinar, although it's just very short time, and we'll try to cover the main aspects of the data analytics and business intelligence. And definitely we cannot cover the whole, it's a vast topic, and we have to go the overall scenarios of the data analytics and business intelligence. So when we're talking about the data analytics as business intelligence today, we're talking about the business intelligence side. Whenever we talk or we study about the business intelligence, it's about, first of all, things come in our mind is the tool that is called Microsoft Business BI, that business intelligence, but it's not the tool. We are talking about the business intelligence, the decision making that helps us in the decisions, because what we are working nowadays is the data. We're talking about the data analytics, we are talking about data visualization, we talk about data warehouse, data scientist, and all that kind of things. But what eventually we are getting from that whole data, where comes the business intelligence into action, and the business intelligence helps you to get out of all those insights from the data and convert them to the actionable decisions. So this is a brief introduction about me. My name is Ishtiaq Khurshid. I've done my master's in science information technology back in 2003. Started my career as data processing officer in 2003. Although these data analytics and other things were not so much hot in the market, but we still used to work with the data, analyze the data, and provide the different actionable decisions to our different department like sales, operations, and all these kind of things. So I started my career as a data processing officer. It's been about more than 17 years now in the industry, and right now I'm working as the head of PMO. I'm a certified project manager, more than 20 industry certification related to software engineering, digital transformation, and the data processing and the data analytics, of course, as well. I've worked for some of the Pakistan's pioneer IT and digital transformation solutions, and that involves public sector, telecom sector like Telenor, Huawei, Ufone, and then I worked for the Pakistan Army, Pakistan Police, Agriculture Department, Safety Authority is one of the main things, Master Authority, that's the transportation sector of Pakistan. Education sector, I just have delivered, one of the largest education sector in Pakistan to get into the digital transformation and their data, migration and the data analytics journey with the help of all these experience. That was brief introduction about me. So yes, what we have today on the menu, that we will have the introduction of the topic, we'll have the understanding and data analytics and business intelligence, what these are. Then we dive into the data, into insights, then from insight to actionable decisions, how we can get to the insight to the actionable decisions, and the best practices and pitfalls we should not get into. And then at the end of the day, if we have some time, we'll get to the QA as well. So first of all, what is data analytics and business intelligence? So data analytics and business intelligence are the powerful tools that can help organization make informed decisions. So whenever we're talking about the data and the business intelligence, we're talking about the informed decisions. The decisions we are making, we are going to make based on our data, what we have in our hands. Those decisions are not on our gut feeling. Those decisions are not just assuming the things based on market speculations and all those kind of things. When we talk about the data analytics and business intelligence, so we make informed decisions. That's why our planning works well. Our decisions work well. That's why the major companies change into the unicorns and all those kind of things. So when we talk about the data and business intelligence, it's informed decisions. Then unlocking the power of these tools can help the organization gain valuable insight and make actionable decisions. So when we have the data, we have the historical data, we have the current data, and we have the future plans and action plans in our hand, we can make the better decision plans and better action plans in the future. So this is how the data insight connects the dot. First of all, we have to understand the data, what data is saying, what data has been saying to us, what data is saying currently to us. Then we connect the dots, and then we make the decisions according to those data and data insights. So data-driven decisions are the only way to ensure that you are making decisions based on facts, not assumption. As I told you earlier, when we are making the decision based on data, those decisions are facts. Still, definitely, sometimes we have the decisions here and there. We can plan for some like 100, we still get to the 80, but those decisions are still based on facts, and there are least of rare chances until unless there are some surprises and some other things there where we can those decisions can be affected by assumptions or the market speculations. So what is data analytics? Data analytics is a powerful tool for the business to gain insight into their operations, make informed decisions, unlocking the potential of the data and business intelligence. So data, what we have data, we have sales data, like if we take the examples, we have the sales data. So to analyze about that sales data, what we have in that, what kind of sales we are going into. So all these kind of the question and getting their answer to those questions from the data is called data analytics. And then we come to the business intelligence, and business intelligence is the process of gathering, analyzing, transforming data into actionable insights that can be used to inform the business decisions. BI tools allow organizations to gain better understanding of their customer operations and performance. As I told you in the introduction of the topic, we have the data, we have the data scientists, we have the data analytics, we have the data warehouse, we all have the things in place. But then what? What we are going to do with that data? Here comes the business intelligence into action, and that business intelligence gets maximum out of that data. And then, we identify the trends, optimize the performance of the business organization. All these kind of things we do through the BI. Transactions, such as sales transaction, customer demographic, inventory levels, supplier information to make the informed decisions and improve its operations. The retail chain uses business intelligence, data collections. So these are to name the few of the things which we can use into business intelligence and get our informed decisions and get to those business decisions more better and effective way. So these are the 3 steps where we get to these actionable decisions. First of all, we collect the data from the different sources, like our POS, like from the customers, from the sales, from our data collection example is nowadays when we are whenever we go to a shopping, every shopping merchant asks you for your phone number, sir, can I have your phone number? Can I have your email? Can I have your address? All those kind of things, those are going to the data collections. Those data is being used for different type of, marketing campaigns to get to know to your interest and all those kind of things. Once we have the data in place, then we do the data cleansing. When we are collecting the data, a lot of the data which coming around with along with the correct data is also the useless data. So we clean that data first, remove the irrelevant or incorrect data. Sometimes we have the incorrect data as well from the data set, and then we format the data into the usable form to analyze. Once that transformation is done, then we can use our other tools. For example, here we have the example of, I would say that we can take an example of a hotel chain. That hotel chain combines collected data into the data warehouse. Then they first collect the data from all the sources, like there's customer coming from checking into the hotels, then checking out the hotels. They get the survey form or feedback form filled by the customers. Once the all data is collected, they clean the data, raw data from the different errors, inconsistency, and those kind of things. And then that data is transformed to analyze how much our customer has been satisfied from our services, what kind of areas we can improve with our services. All those kind of decisions can be made from that things. So when we're talking about the data analytics, the data visualization, so this is a small journey around this data visualization. First of all, it was started in 1850. William Playfair published the first data visualization book. Then in 1962, John Technique published the book Exploratory Data Analysis. Then 1970, first computer-generated data visualization were created. 1990, data visualization software becomes like Excel. When we have the Windows in place, so in the starting we will have the COBOL 1, 2, 3, and then it became to Excel, and nowadays we have the Power BI, Tableau, and all those kind of things more popular than ever. So data analytics and the business intelligence are the art of storytelling with the data. So storytelling is, if we connect the dots with the storytelling, it's been, from centuries there. We used to make mind with the storytelling. In the history, we used to have the storytellers who tell the stories in so effective way that people used to believe those stories, although those stories were not even, actually happening in front of those people. But it was the art of the storyteller who was telling the story in that effective way that people are just feeling that story in there. So nowadays, in today's digital era, we have the data, and the art of storytelling with the data is still as effective as it was. You have the data and you can tell the lot of the stories from that data. What kind of like I just gave you an example that hotel is collecting the data. They can identify their service level, how much satisfied the users were there, what are the areas they can improve, what kind of customer they should focus on, what kind of services they should focus to make more people happy. So, all these kind of the stories that's coming out of the data. So when first comes the data analytics comes first, then the business intelligence also taking over in there. But right now, a survey from the different IT professionals, data analytics still takes the more points than the business intelligence. It takes the 10 points, and while business intelligence taking the 8 points there. Data analytics is the process of transforming the raw data into the different analyzable, where the data we can analyze that into different aspects, the things, and then business intelligence perform their business aspects of that data. So these are different aspects we can get from the problem solving, forecasting, insight, analyzing, research, creativity, ideas, trends, you name the things in there. So what are the outcomes of the business intelligence and the data analytics? So first of all, we get the insight, how we are doing. Are we compliant? Are we doing fine? Data tells us the very immediate story about our current situation, what we are doing right now, how we are doing. Are we doing good, are we not going good? So what insight refers to our traditional reports, those are, we all are used to like that. Reports which tell us the current or our former status of our idea, like what kind of sales we have, what kind of sales we have been doing in the past. The insight answer questions such as how the organization is performing, how much the revenue we did from we incur, what do the continuous constitute live, all these kind of things we get from the data insight. Then the second thing we get from the data analysis is hindsight. Hindsight, the rescue, the second outcome of the analytics. As business intelligence umbrella, the analysis need to understand why we have the current number we do. And no, I'm not referring to these underlying data quality. I'm referring to where we are standing right now. So that will give us why we are performing like this way. What kind of investment do we need to get successful? And what we can get the learning from these kind of results. And based on these insight and hindsight, we get to the foresight. These foresights is the third outcome. These foresight come as how we will perform in future, based on how we are doing and why we are doing this way. Combining all these things, we can get how we will perform. If we change the way, we might perform good, we might perform bad. And how can we gain and competitive advantage over the other competitors in there? So what it comes first is insight, then hindsight, where we are, then hindsight, why we are here, and then foresight, like future plans, how we will perform to these future. So here we are coming to the data analytics and business intelligence. Why it is important? So first of all, data-driven already explained the data-driven decision making, improved customer experience, increased efficiency. All these kind of things are achieved through the data analytics. Like if we are getting the survey from I gave you the hotel example. If we are getting the surveys from the clients, and most of the surveys are giving us the average. Definitely, the clients will also be telling us the where we are lacking behind. So we can, based on that data, we can improve that area and make the data-driven decisions, and then improve our customer experience. And with that improved customer experience, we also have the increased efficiency into our services as well. So these are one of the few of the benefits. So when we're talking about the business analysis and business intelligence together, we start from in current, like last decade. I started from 2020, although it was started from way earlier. But since 2020, we're doing data analytics and business intelligence so rigorously that we started to use it in the business. Then we identify the customer first. In 2021, the things come to that identification of customer trends and how they prefer to go to that thing. 2022, we get to that improve the operation efficiency. 2023, data analytics and business intelligence to optimize the marketing campaign. So these are all kind of those steps. In 2020, I get to know where we are. Then 2021, I keep on working on the data analytics and different tools with the business intelligence. And I effectively use the marketing campaign. And 2024, I'm going to use to predict the customer behavior. So I can even predict the things, how it's going to perform in the future based on my all these data analytics, business intelligence, and things. So just name a few. We all know these companies, they're doing the huge business, and they're all playing with the data, like Microsoft, Amazon, Google, Yahoo, Facebook. All these organizations, based on their data, they are driving our, exactly these companies are driving our life. On Facebook, Insta, they, gather your information, they get to the insight of your behavior, and they tell you how to behave, and they tell you how to go into the market and what to do and what not to do. That's the reality of the data nowadays in there. So that's why Bill Gates said that data analytics is the foundation of the modern business. So modern business is on data analytics and the business information. Nothing is there. With the data, you drive the things. Now even people are getting, to drive the people minds and people thoughts as per the data collected and data, being presented. So these are different things we are doing with the data. We are doing the data visualization. Visualization was the first ever thing that we visualize the data, what data is telling us. Then we mine the data, then we data warehouse, data science and machine learning. These are different, domains of the data and business intelligence we are dealing with right now. Data analytics and the BA is the fuel to that driven innovation. Steve Jobs, one of the most, nowadays we say is to be the father of the technology for the today's. So as per him, data analytics and BA is the fuel that drive innovation and progress. So we talk about data analytics, we talk about business intelligence, we're talking about the data analytics, but what are the type of data analytics? What things we get when we have the data? We have the data, okay, tell us what are the data telling us? What are the different way to get out of that data? So there are there are other ways, other, types of analytics as well, but these are the main three, you can say the primary domains of the data analytics. That the descriptive analytics use the data to describe the past performance of the business. Like it describes, the name says descriptive. It describes, it tells you the story current, where are you right now? Like we get the data of sales of our organization. So it will tell us what is exactly sales right now of your organization. So that is the description of that data. Then predictive. The predictive analysis, the predictive analytics used to predict from that data set how we are going. Like in sales, we are prediction that we are getting increase into our one set of products more than into other. Like our second set of product is getting more, less buyers than our first set of products. So these are the predictive. So we can get to the prediction for the future. And then we made the perspective based on that data, that what kind of action or the optional outcome we can get from that, analytics. We get to the one-on-one in a brief detail next few of the slides. So descriptive analytics, as I told, is known as it's also known as the descriptive statistics. Also says few people says it descriptive statistics or exploratory data analysis. It's the method to use to summarize and describe the main feature of the data set. Like it provides a comprehensive overview of data without making any assumption or prediction. Descriptive data helps the researcher understand the structure, distribution pattern within the data. Some techniques we use in descriptive data analysis, like measure of dispersion of the data, the range, the difference between maximum and minimum values of the data set, the variance, the average of the square different, like these kind of things we get from the description and we place on the place there. So descriptive analysis, for the descriptive analysis, different tools are there. Like Excel is the most widely used. We've been using this Excel, column and rows. We always use that Excel more frequently. Then the Tableau for the bigger, set of data. Then SAS, R, and Python are the latest player of these data analytics and the descriptive analytics on the things. Then we come to the predictive. And the predictive analytics power comes when the data analytics need to use the historical data. Predictive, that it use the the data set which we already have from our history, perform different algorithm and machine learning techniques, and then we use those techniques to predict the future. Okay, so the main goal of predictive analytics is to identify the pattern in the data that can help the organization to make informed decisions and anticipate future events and optimize their operations. Like e-commerce company wants to predict which customers are likely to make purchase in the upcoming months. To do this, they use predictive analysis. the data collection and the preparation. Like, we have the data and we can predict that these kind of customers will shop more in these specific time because we have the data, we have those customer data with us, and those customer, purchasing trends, in which months they spent more, in which month they spent less, and we can predict in the future as well. And we can, redesign our marketing companies according to all those data sets and data analytics. Yeah. And from descriptive and predictive, we make the perspective analysis. And after all these things we have done to descriptive and to the predictive, then we come to the perspective analysis. And that is one of the most advanced form of the data analytics that goes beyond the prediction future outcomes by recommending specific actions to optimize decision making and achieve desired objective. The perspective analysis use techniques such as optimization, simulations. When we have the data in our hand, we can simulate there are algorithms, there are techniques with the business intelligence there. We can run a specific simulation on that data, and we can get to know that if we do this action, what are the result will be of this action. So these kind of perspective decisions are made through these perspective analysis. One of these perspective analysis, I still remember the UPS, one of the major, logistic company in America, and they performed analysis on their data and just, changing a single thing in their driver's behavior. They saved the billions of the fuel in the very first year, and the decision was that driver will, we all know that in America they drive on the left side of the road, so they will always take the right turn in there. So by not stopping at any of the signals, they were able to save that $1 billion of the fuel per annum. So these kind of the perspective that data analytics can give to us based on simulation and the data, all kind of data we have in the systems. So predictive analytics, like different applications for the predictive analysis are data mining, machine learning, and artificial intelligence. We all been familiar of these names. Data mining, the deep diving of the data. We find the hidden trends of those data, which we cannot apparently see within that data. Like I just give you an example for the UPS in the American. They were able to find that hidden within the data from that driving, collecting the driver's data, the stopping on these signals for a couple of seconds, like 20-30 seconds, or just a couple of minutes on any signals, wasting the fuel. So they just find out that thing from deep hidden that data. They change that pattern and they were able to save the fuel. So that was done by the data mining. And then machine learning, the use of algorithm to identify the patterns. And data mining is done through the machine learning. Different algorithms are in there, and the artificial intelligence computer system to perform tasks to normally require human intelligence. So these are few of the applications what we are doing with the predictive analytics. Some of the algorithms for the predictive analysis, like line regression, logistic regression, decision trees, random forecast, support vector mechanism, neural networks, and k-nearest neighbors. These are different of the algorithms we use in machine learning and artificial intelligence. Apply these algorithms in the data, and we get out of these data things. Each of these algorithms is so vast that we need quite a couple of days training for each of these algorithms. So in just the introduction, I'm giving you the name introduction here. So we saw the data analytics and few of the things on there. So we can easily say that the future belongs to those who understand the power of predictive analytics. It is very old now that we go to the description, what data is saying. It's really, past story nowadays. Now we have to go to the descriptive and not the predictive, not only predictive, but also the perspective, and then predict the things. So we have to do the predictive analysis. We have to find the hidden things, what are hidden in the analytics, and we can predict the future. And when I'm saying the predict the future, is literally meaning we can predict the future from this data. So we have talked a lot about the data. Let's combine the data with the business intelligence. When data analytics become meet with the business intelligence, then comes the decisions here. So first of all, we do the data visualization, then we do the data mining, then data analytics. And after doing all these things, the business intelligence is combined with the data analytics to make the different decisions on data. So this is the integration process for making decisions. Data scientist comes, business data scientist who plays with the data, who tells you the data, who make the actual, the form data for you. Then comes the business analyst and the project managers who understand the business needs and get the business, techniques and business decisions hidden in that data. Software engineer helps to develop all those applications and data architecture. These are all the integral parts who plays, a vital role for all these kind of things in there. So this is one of the study says in previous slides I told you the decisions based on data are more effective than the decisions made on the basis of gut decisions or just assumptions or the speculations. So McKinsey & Company had some data sources and they had the surveys and they had the data that more about is approximately 80% of the data-driven decisions are much prevalent than the gut decisions. Gut decisions only like you can say that 10% of there. So data-driven decisions are more effective, and they are way more effective than them. So driving customer insights. So when we're talking about the data and the business intelligence, it's always, it's always the need of the business. And when we talk about the business is always about the customer, what customer needs, what customer wants, and what customer will need. So we can, align our business strategies, we can align our business growth according to those customer insights there. So from the data, we've always first identify the customer needs, then analyze the customer behavior, like me, Ishtiaq Rashid, going on the online, what kind of sites I'm visiting, what kind of products I'm visiting, what kind of products I have purchased in the past, and based on those products, what kind of products I would need in the future. This is so much powerful that you just search one thing on the internet, and the internet will start bombarding you for those relevant, products online. Like you can, I can give you an example. You just search what are the the season flowers for this month of June or July, and it will give you the definitely suggestion that these kind of flowers and these kind of plants we can plant in the upcoming month. But immediately based on that behavior, on that data behavior, the system will analyze. Definitely, if you are looking for the plants, it means you are interested in gardening. So when you are interested in gardening, definitely you will need the gardening tools as well. So immediately they will start you pushing around and suggesting the gardening tools, that these kind of gardening tools you will need, and these are more important, and then other medicines and all those kind of things. So you didn't ask for the gardening tools, you asked for the plants, but based on that plant, query, the system analyzes that if you are asking about the plant, you must be interested in gardening, and for gardening, we also need these XYZ tools as well. So they are suggesting you the other things. So we are analyzing the customer behavior here, and based on customer behavior, we are improving the customer experience. And definitely when, it's always good when we are going in somewhere and we can looking at and someone comes us, okay, sir, we are looking at this thing. Would you like to do this thing as well? So it is always the customer experience. So we always increase the customer experience. So this is how the data is driving the customers and the business. So the key to unlock the potential of the data analytics and business intelligence tools is to unify your technology stack and create a single source of truth. So we will now explore some data analytics process step by step. As I told you, we first do the data collection. Once the data is collected, we do the data preparation. We prepare the data. We arrange the data. We store the data. Then we clean the data and then we transform the data. And these are the steps we have already been covering in previous slides. So they say the results are only as good as the process that produces them. So data itself is not doing anything good to you or good to anything else. It's the process. So the more effective the process we have in place, the more effective results we have from the data. So it's always the process. How much intelligent, how much insight of the process you can develop the process to get the more insight from the data, that more things will come to you. So this is the time just to give you an idea that how my time is spent on the different steps of the data analytics. That we are data collection is the least time consuming, like for one of XY, Z is my own one of my own projects analysis I'm presenting to you. That from one of my XYZ project, it took about 10 hours to collect the data, and it took almost double the time to clean the data. And just to give you the idea of these steps I calculated based on my most recent project in education department, where we have the data set of 2.6 million users with the 44 million of the records. And then we collected the data from this different system that was on the paper and on the different databases as well. So it took, and I just transformed that time into hours. It was not definitely hours, it was days, weeks and months of the exercising there. So it took about 10 hours for data collection. So it took double time to clean the data. And once the clean data was there, it took about 3 times of the data collection time to analyze the data, what the hidden in that data is. And to analyze the data after analysis, we were able to visualize that data for the different stakeholder, that this is the data we are having, and this is the stories. When we're talking about the data visualization, we're telling the stories actually. Like this is these are the number of the students for this, areas in there, from these kind of these students are from this particular subject, for this particular study area. So all these data visualization were producing. So what the time took to collect the data, the 4 times was more time consumed to visualize and get the things out of those data. So just to give you an idea how the time is spent in the different stages there. So just the data visualization, data mining, and data analytics we already talked about. So we all have these data sets, data analytics, and visualization in place. So these the different techniques we apply to our analysis and our plan. So whenever we have the data to perform that analytics and perform that business intelligence onto that data, we must have some problem. As I told you, the UPS was having the problem. They were had the target to reduce the carbon footprint made by their vehicles running around in the city or the country. I just recently concluded the project. They wanted to make more effective footprint of education throughout the country and and internationally as well. So what kind of problem we have, we want to solve through that data, and then we gather the data relevant to that problem, and then we analyze that data. So these are the different analysis techniques. We already talked about the regression analysis, then clustering, and the machine learning. These are type of analysis we perform on the data to get different results on that. Then the machine learning is most hot topic of the today's for the relevant to data. And machine learning is a subset of artificial intelligence, and they uses algorithm to learn the different patterns hidden in inside the data. And the different type of machine learning: supervised learning, unsupervised learning, and reinforced learning. And the application of the different machine learning things are like image recognition. A lot of people we are using nowadays devices which recognize our facial. Just we implemented a system in our office premises, and that recognize your face. So machine can recognize your face pattern hidden inside you. Things that the distance between your eyeballs, the type of your eyebrows you have, the type of cuts on you there. But thing is, then you have to place the face in certain direction. But when we implement the machine learning, then machine learn the different patterns of your face from all aspects of your face, and even nowadays our machine what we have put in our office, they are capable that we don't need to stop in front of those machines. We are just climbing the stair or getting out of our escalator and just passing through that machine, and regardless of whatever the angle of my face is onto that machine recognize me as Ishtiaq Khurshid, and they just sign into that things. So these things, image recognition is done, natural language processing, and the fraud detection is also done through the machine learning there. So the exploration of data analytics when we explore the data, it can provide the valuable insight across the data various industries, domains, helping the organization make informed decisions. In previous slides, I told you the detection of fraud even is can be done from the data analytics. And the retail market basket analysis, previously I told you about the behavior when we search on the things. When we are visiting different e-commerce sites, they also analyze our market, basket, those shopping carts. They analyze and they store the pattern and behavior of our personality, and then they suggest to the things. Healthcare by analysis, electronic health records and patient data, hospital can identify the patterns or different kind, like in hospital, they can analyze what kind of specific disease people are coming more in a specific time. So in future, they can design a more health related action, like vaccine, if the hospital is facing that in certain November or December, people are coming more with the flu things. So they can prepare a flu vaccine before the next November and December comes in, and they can inject those vaccines to the people and then avoid those health scenarios. So these kind of data analytics and data insight can be done through the machine learning on there and data analytics. The financing, credit scoring, we all know about this credit scoring. We all been there to the banks that this thing can be done and this cannot be done. So credit scoring is done and is modeled around all these data and all these patterns. So all these things we have been doing. So how to execute on the insight? We have the data, we have the analytics, and now we have the insights. So we need to do the action. So there are a few steps we should perform on the data to get those insight into the actionable decisions. So those steps is interpret and validate the insights, align the insight with the business objective. As I told you, that all these insights should be aligned with your business. Like e-commerce and the fashion e-commerce site cannot, analyze the people behavior on their health things, and the health department cannot do on the shopping, analysis, shopping patterns of the customers. So they should be aligned with the business objective. And furthermore, what kind of business objective you have? Like you want to increase your sales, you want to increase your footprint in the market, you want to increase the share in the market relevant to your business. So that should be, your business objective should be very clear, and those insights should be relevant to those business objectives. So based on those business insight with the business objective, you identify the potential actions. Then based on the potential actions, you engage with the stakeholders, and then you assess the risk and the challenges, develop an action plan, communicate and implement, then monitor. And after implementation, you monitor about your action plans. And then if you are not getting the desired results, you adjust your action plans and then evaluate. And definitely you learn a lot about these kind of things. Lesson learned are there after all the implementations are done. So getting all these kind of things, so visualization, the information to decision maker, when we are talking about the action plan, we can perform the actions on our own. We need a stakeholder involvement. We need the decision makers. We need the authority decision makers who can give us the authority to play that actions on grounds. So why would they allow us to do all those kind of things? When we present them information in a proper visualized form to the decision makers. So data visualization is a tool for the decision maker to quickly understand. Like if I'm presenting something to the CEO or the CTO or CIO, they won't go into the details of the thing that this customer spent this much, this customer spent this much. They will be more interested on the annual trends of the sales of the specific product or the specific market or the specific market segment of that product. So that for them, that visualization is more important than the individual store sales or individual the product sales there. So what kind of visualization we presented with the which kind of stakeholder is more important. So that's why the visualization plays a vital role in the thing. It improves the understanding, then facilitate the analysis. The analysis should be more clear, simple, so they can understand what kind of things we are trying to present, and based on that presentation, what kind of action or decisions we need from them. And visualization should increase the engagement as well. The more interesting visualization is, the more engagement is there. And when I'm more engaged, I will be more, lean towards the making decisions in favor of that data visualization or whatever I'm asking from the stakeholders. Visualization, choosing the right type of chart, choosing the right type of visualization should be taken into consideration. Like I said, keep it simple. We call it in our technology stack, we call it the KISS rule. Keep it simple, keep it simple. So avoid using too many colors, fonts, the jargons and all those industry technical words. Keep it simple. These are the things, these we have, and these are the trends, and here we want to go. And this for this particular decision, we want this. It should be simple: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And label everything. Whatever you're presenting, people should be able to read about their thing. Label everything. So once all these kind of things are there, we can make the data-driven decisions. And the data-driven decision making its process that's use the data to inform decision and strategies. We've been talking about these things again. Then we use the data, present the data in a so much effective way that the data-driven decisions can be made. Like we want an investment in certain product to increase the production of that product in like next couple of years, from like 100 products to like 200 products. We need an investment from the stakeholders. So we will present those numbers in so effective way to the stakeholder that they can see the sales trends increasing for that product. And by looking at those trends, they are, convinced put more money for that particular product. So there should be, the data-driven decisions we can make from the different stakeholders. So exploring the new possibilities is the first step to taking action with the insight. So why we want to take the action? Definitely we want to explore some new possibilities. As I just told you, if we want to, increase the production of our one of the product, why we want to increase the production? Definitely we want to increase the sales. Why we want to increase the sales? We want to increase the profit. We want to take the market share of that product. We want to, monopolize that product, definitely to make the maximum profit out of these things. Yeah. So actionable decision made from the insight derived from the data analytics can significantly impact the organization's performance, strategy, and operations. Gathering insights is the first step in taking action. As I explained earlier, we gather the insight. What kind of insight we have in the data? Is it the sales trends going good, going bad? So we can make the decisions accordingly. So these are the defining insight, analyzing insight, and applying insight we are talk about. So the decision-making steps are here. We gather data insights. We analyze the data insights. We identify the potential solutions. We evaluate the potential solutions, and then make decisions and implement decisions. So these are the 6 steps: making decisions and implementing them based on our data. Translating the insight into actions, again, understanding the insight, identify the action, and implement the action. I already explained on that thing. So when we implement the actions, we measure. So these days are just to, give you an idea. Those can be days, those can be weeks, those can be months. So gather the insight from the stakeholder, analyze the insight, identify potential actions, develop action plan, implement action plan, monitor the progress of action plan, evaluate the impact of action, and adjust the plan as we need it. So here we are, the few examples for different things. Analytics to historical sales data and external factors predicts increase in demand for a specific product in the coming months. So what are the actionable decisions for this insight? Adjust the inventory level, production schedule, supplier relationship to, and ensure the organization can meet the anticipated increase in demand. Then the next insight is market basket analysis reveals the customer who buy the diapers also frequently purchase baby wipes. So actionable decisions create target promotion and discount for the customer buying both diapers and baby wipes, and optimize store layout to place those products closer together to encourage cross-selling. So here we have a couple of examples: insight, predict the insight, and then we actionable the decisions. So when we talking about the different insight, and we have talked about the actions, we have talked about the implementation, there are common pitfalls which we can have while we implementing and analyzing, then implementing the business intelligence, and then the action plans. There are common pitfalls that if we do not have the clear objectives, we will not get where we want to be. If we have the insufficient data quality, as I told you, the decisions are based on data. If the quality of data is not good, the quality of decision will not be good, definitely. Inadequate data infrastructure, like we do not have the infrastructure that can store to our data. It starts from our, the collection of data infrastructure towards the analytics infrastructure and our, the software things there. Choosing the wrong tools. I might need the Tableau to get a more better insight and visualization of data, but I'm going through the Excel or any other tool which is not good for my visualization or the data things. So that can lead me to the wrong like different decisions and a catastrophe in there. Not investing in skilled personnel. We always talk about the technology, infrastructure. We talk about the systems. We talk about the infrastructure, but all these things are irrelevant without the skilled people. If we do not invest in skilled people, we cannot, have the good results. Ineffective data governance. If we do not govern the data security and all kind of things, we cannot have the good data decisions there. Then is resistance to change. One of the most, the difficult part I always handle through the digital transformation and the data analytics and business intelligent decisions implementing to the different organization is resistant to change. The people don't want to change. If you don't want to embrace the data-driven culture, then you'll be gone. In near future, you'll be gone. There is no way you can, prove your existence in the current market without the data-driven decisions. No way. Then the poor communication, collaboration between the stakeholders, communication, not talking to each other, not telling the things that business user are not telling the outcomes of if I have implemented some certain actions based on my data, and I am not getting enough feedback from my business users that what kind of results we are getting, those actionable will, eventually will not give me the what I planned them for. So communication and collaboration is more important. And then overlooking the user adoption, failing to user adoption, end user is more important. Whatever the action you are, placing in on ground, whatever the action you are taking, it's the end user who is going to implement those actions. So never overlook the end user, and neglecting the continuous improvement is definitely we making the decision, we implement the decision, but we are also, I told you previous in slides, we monitor them and we adjust them. And while we are adjusting, we are learning as well. So that continuous improvement, we always neglect, and then we cannot reach what we are where we want to go. So that's the end of the slide, Hassan. And we can now take to the different questions from the participants if they have.
Yes, thank you very much, Ishtiaq. Very, very thoughtful and very informative session you delivered. I personally thank, and on behalf of iPIP community, I thank you very much. As the program webinar is going live on social media platform, there are people watching over there. So I received a couple of questions from the people watching on social media. So first question is about data analytics and business intelligence. It is like which comes first, either chicken or the egg. This is the questions. Maybe I think you have explained already, but maybe briefly.
Yeah. Luckily here we have the chicken first. So data comes first. Definitely, when we have the data, we need something to perform on that thing. The intelligence should be performed on something. The business intelligence, the business insights should be performed on something. As I told you, we collect data first that describes where we are. Then we analyze where it is going, and then we predict our future based on that thing. So we should have the data first. And that is not only the data I explained in my different slides. The data should be effective, the data should be relevant, and data should be cleaned. I just happen to, I'm giving you the real life example. I just concluded a, education sector project, and they had the 2.6 million of the user data, which we cleaned, by the way. And initially they had about 2.6, like 3.5 million of data. Out of that 3.5 million user, 0.8 million students were either irrelevant or the duplicate data or the garbage data we don't have. So we have to remove that data, 0.8 million data from the the original data set, to get actual business, to implement the actual business intelligence on that data set, to improve our processes, to re-engineer our processes, to perform more student-centric things. So data, clean data, relevant data, and then that data I told you that to structure that data in a relevant form and visualize that data. So data comes first, definitely, then data cleansing, and then the business intelligence.
Okay, the next question is related to obviously about the relevant data as well. As you showed a slide in which a histogram is made to show the time spent on different steps, the data collection, cleansing, analyzing, and visualizing. The question is, in presence of very sophisticated tools for data visualization and data analytics, do we still have to spend that much amount of time? Because data collection, sometimes it is very hard to collect the relevant or useful not information, but data. There could be many regulations involved in collecting data. We have to have some particular permissions from the subjects. And we have to obey the privacy laws and other things. So data collection is obviously a very, you may say, a hard job, and it takes a lot amount of time. So do you think that still in the presence of sophisticated tools, we have to spend that much amount of time?
Yes, yes. You just explained well that there are some of the things we have to abide by the privacy laws in different countries and different segment of the world. Sometimes the people are reluctant. When we are collecting the data, people are reluctant to give you the actual data. They won't tell you what the actual data is. So that is one of the most difficult thing. Either though we have the sophisticated tools, but that tools performs what they have been given to. Like what the data I will give to them, they will perform whatever the sophistication they are able to perform on that data. But again, the accuracy and the clean data is important. It still stays there. We always say that garbage in, garbage out. So if the data is not relevant, whatever the sophisticated tool I'm using, it's irrelevant. It's not going to give me the the relevant results or the relevant things there. So the data collection is there. And when we are talking about the privacy law, definitely that is the most the difficult thing we have to find, because we have to make the balance between the privacy and all these data analytics business intelligence in the things there. Yes, we understand that the data is being misused as well. People misuse the data, organizations and different marketing campaigns are used in the different things. But then again, this data is also important to make the decisions according to the customer centric as well. So we have to be very diligent and very adopt the balanced approach between the privacy. Definitely, I have the right to be private. I have my privacy of my data. But definitely, if like I told you, the hospital, if I'm not allowing the hospitals to use my data for the prediction of certain healthcare diseases or certain healthcare conditions, they will not be able to predict the things, and they will not be able to cure those diseases as effectively as I'm expecting. So the keeping balancing between these kind of things, we have these sophisticated tools. So yes, the data, the clean data, and the balance between privacy and integrity of the data. That's why I told in my last slides that data governance should be in place. So keeping all those kind of things, we should perform these all things, and we can have this customer-centric thing.
Okay.
I hope I answered the questions.
Before I move to some other questions from social media, I would like to give chance to the participants here in the Zoom meeting. If anybody would like to ask any question, direct
They can
question.
they can raise the hands.
Yes,
Whoever
please.
want to participate.
Is there anybody?
I hope either I explained so well or I didn't explain at all.
No, you really explained well, I assure. Um, yes. The next question which I received is about the like as you explained, the predictive analysis, the current situation of the business and the past situation, what like the presenting visualization or results about sales or profit or whatever to the higher management, it would be about the past. So there are three things: past, present, and the future. Is there any other aspect other than these three aspects, like predicting something like our sales would be this much high or whatever, or the past that much was at the past and present situation? Is there any fourth dimension of data analytics?
When we're working, there are the number of dimensions there, but every dimension, whatever the dimension we go, they will fall either one of these kind of things. We have the past, we have the present based on that part, and then we predict the future. So whatever the dimension we put, it will definitely fall into these kind of things. If we talk about the sales, we have the sales. So based on those sales, we have this state of the company or the organization right now, and this is the third stage where we want to, I give you again an example, a real life example where I worked with the organization. They were having the history of international students getting enrolled in their different programs, and based on that history, they had certain number of the programs being offered and certain number of students being enrolled in the different programs. But then they want to get those enrollments and those students to the double. Like if they are having the 100 students right now, they want to have the 200 students in the next year to enroll in their teams. So how we can do that? What we can do is how many enrolled in previous, and we can analyze that what kind of programs attracted more students. Then in what type of program students we have right now, so we can offer those programs in more effective way, making them more better for the students, so that more students can get into those kind of things. So again, whatever the dimension we are talking about, it will fall in these threes: what we have been, what we are doing right now, and what we want to. So it's past, future, and present and future.
Okay, greatly explained. Thank you very much, Ishtiaq. The last question from the audience on social media platform is about the future of data analytics. The question is that there are tools already in place which automatically or autonomously collecting data, cleaning it, and then analyzing and giving very useful information to the decision makers, relevant people. So in the presence of those autonomous tools, what is the future of data analytics, or will there be any or is there any jobs shift? Because the question is in the perspective of because people are losing their jobs in Europe, there is a lot of recession going on.
Okay.
The IT companies
yes, I would certainly like to answer these things. This threat is always present to the people, like I explained in my last slide. The number 10 point was neglect the continuous improvement. Okay, so if someone is neglecting the continuous improvement, definitely they have the threat and they will lose. But if you are ready to improve yourself, to align yourself with the technology, definitely you will not lose. Like we are talking about the tools, somebody is making those tools as well, no?
Yes.
Before before that we would have the calculator. Somebody was, putting that calculator things and, writing the things. But there was somebody who was making the tool to replace that thing. So why don't you become that person who is replacing the thing? So somebody is making those tools. Somebody is making those tools better. Tools are not definitely, tools are evolving. They are not, as much effective or as much accurate as human can be. Definitely there is a chance of error and chance of, they are machines, they're not humans. And we are unable to make any machines till the date we are talking that is more effective than human or more, observant than human. So somebody is making those tools. Somebody is, presenting their efforts to make those tools better. So if you don't align yourself with the things, yes, you have the threat. I'm telling you right now, you will be history. But if you don't, then the future is yours. Like I'll just give you an example. People used to travel on the cart. When the motor car comes, people say the cart will be going, how these car driver will be, earning their money. The car driver who transform their skills into the driving of those cars, they still are earning. Okay. So the people working in the manual thing, they transform their things, when if we talk about the 20 years ago when we were studying there, the business of the photocopies were too much there. And if the person was stick to that photocopy machine, it is history now. But if person analyzes that data based on that data, again, based on that data, if person analyzes the insight, that the future is coming where these machines will be replaced with the computer or will be replaced with the, the printing and our internet kind of things. They revolutionize their system with those upcoming technology and they're still in the business. And those who did not,
there still be opportunities in the age of Chat GPT-4. Like Chat GPT-4.
There it's not will be, there are the opportunities. And let me tell you, I've been searching right now. I'm searching for quite a certain skill set for one of my upcoming project, and it's more than about a month. I am unable to find a person right now. And for that thing it's not a small thing I'm talking about. It's a big thing. So yes, find what I said to tell you. Find the insight, plan, and action. Again, we talk about a lot about these things in the whole of my presentation is there. Find the insight from the data, plan the action according to that insight, and then make your action, monitor, and improve. 4 steps, everything will be good.
Yeah, it remember me the Allama Iqbal's it's a share. It's called Sabatik Taghayyur ko hai zamane mein. So maybe you can say that the survival of the fittest.
Yes, survival of the fittest. It is, and it always been. It's not right now. We are talking too much right now that this will replace our this job. This will replace. When Chat GPT comes in, that it will replace the the programmer's job. And no. Why don't you take this like this? That it will make your life easy. The programmer who was programming one program in 15 days or 1 month, he's able to finish that thing more swiftly in 1 week. And now he can make the 4 new programs as well. He have more time to think creatively. He have more time to think, make things more better. So it's not going to, make you disappear from this. Just make yourself aligned with the technology, keep it improving, and you will be fine. And data analytics, the jobs, the perspective in the data analytics are countless. You name it. People are saying that data scientists, these business intelligence, I can find, very few people in business intelligence. People are working in data analytics, they are working in data warehousing, they are working in the data architecture. And I find very few people in business intelligence. Let me tell you about the organization where I worked. They took 6 months to find a person which was appropriate to implement those business intelligence techniques and make their business process engineering. So So there is always a chance, there is always a opportunity, hidden inside. This is how I told you the process. The effective the process, the effective insight, yeah, more good plans and then actions.
Brilliant. Yeah. Thank you very much, Ishtiaq. Is there still anybody on any participant who would like to make a comment or ask a question to our distinguished speaker? No, okay. We would like to thank Mr. Ishtiaq Khurshid and all participants here on Zoom and as well as on social media platform. On behalf of iPIP, I really thank you very much, Ishtiaq, for sparing time. It is around midnight now, maybe in Pakistan. So prepare for your next sahur.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you very much and keep in touch.
Thank you very much, Ehsan. Thank you very much, iPIP. Thank you very much, Nawasa, for giving me such an exciting and very good platform to discuss and share my ideas with the participants. I hope it helps them to improve the things better. And I'm always available there. So people can connect me on LinkedIn. It's my Ishtiaq Khurshid. I just forgot to make a slide for that LinkedIn profile. So it's Ishtiaq Khurshid.